rocks here. This is the spot here. Big logs. Did you get him? You got him, didn't you? Real. Do you have something?
Yeah. It's
You do. Oh, it's a little bass. Oh, look at that little bass. Ah! Yay! You got a bass though.
That was the one.
Yep.
Maybe not. But
This is the spot though. Little bass.
I didn't even feel it. It felt like a nothing.
You got him though.
That was really
Oh, baby bass.
You spited at
Well,
the very end.
Welcome back to Fishitis. We're out for a few hours in the evening here, Noah and I. And we're on a weedy lake with a lot of pike in it. We're trying for smallmouth bass. And Noah scores first on a little guy, but we'll take it, huh? Yeah, right. Put him back in here.
See how wild he is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. There's one, Noah. I don't think he's big, but he could just be swimming towards us. Not big, but it's a fish. Nice one. Eh. Yay! All right, Noni, bring him up here. All right. Hey. All right. Now, not a really big one, but a solid
And
fish.
a slimy fish.
I put a tube jig on. Noah got the smaller one on the tube jig to start it off. We only have a few hours, like I said before. And it's clouding up a little bit, but not a bad smallmouth. We'll take it. Good 2.5 pounder. Right. Woo, he was ready to go. There he is. Another one. Just another smaller one.
Oh, got a net.
Right. Another male probably. Or a smaller female. Bring him up here. Got him? It's heavy, huh? There we go. All right. It looks like a twin from the other one, doesn't it?
Yeah, they all look.
Did I catch the same fish?
Yeah, you did.
Noah thinks I caught the same fish. I'll tell you what. That's a pretty fish though. It's a darker fish. We're not getting giants, but we're getting solid. You know, that's solid 2.5 pound fish right there. And I had to go to the tube jig pattern. I'm gonna try a deeper diving jerkbait here in a minute. I've been throwing the shallower jerkbaits, nothing. Spinner baits, nothing. Picked up the tube jig, got 2 in a row. So we'll see. Got to give them what they want, I guess, right? Yeah. You got to give them what they want sometimes. That's all. I got one too.
Double.
We both got them. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do now? I got a smaller one. I'll come back. I'll come back and net yours. I'll get mine in and get yours. You got a big one, I think. I got mine in here.
It's a pike. It's a pike. It's a pike.
Maybe, maybe not.
But it's so.
Oh.
It's a pike.
Is it a pike?
Oh my gosh.
Don't pull me. Oh, yay, Noni! Yay! Oh my gosh. Holy action. Now that's some action there, guys. Wow, Daddy's bringing a bass in. Noah got a nice pike. That's nice. So Daddy catches a little bass. I hooked the little bass at the same time Noah hooks his pike. Let me get mine off and get him in the water. And then
He's peeing you.
He's okay. You're all right. We're in a good spot. I'm going to put this fish back.
This guy.
welcome back to another segment of Fishing in the Garage. I've got my buddy Noah with me today. The episode you just watched, we were fishing on a lake, a really weedy lake. It's loaded with pike, but it's also a good smallmouth lake. The thing about these kind of lakes is, you know, the pike take usually the best spots, like the drops. They're the dominant fish, they're a top predator, and the smallmouths usually aren't around them. You'll get a few pike in the vicinity, but the pike are usually loaded up on the drop-offs with the deep weed edges, especially spring, late spring, even early summer. The smallmouths are up, they're just about done spawning. In this episode, they were just about done, and they were up on the gravel, and we were fishing. The only thing they would hit were tube jigs. And I know Noah had started off and caught one right away on a tube jig. I was trying jerkbaits, trying all kinds of things. I do try other lures, but it just seems like that is the most effective, the tube jig. And so we always have a saying, it's like we got to give them what they want. You want to catch fish. It's fun to catch fish on other things, but hey, on days when they're just not chasing, you can't beat a tube jig. And lakes like that with a lot of weeds, a lot of smaller rocks are loaded with crayfish, and there's nothing better than a tube jig. It's an imitation for a crayfish. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what we use, what kinds of tube jigs. There's tons of them on the market. My favorite has always been my favorite for probably 30 years. I don't know exactly when this company came out. Is the Gets It tube jig. And you can see I gotta reorder. I've used a ton of them. This is the brown craw, but I also got a whole box filled with them here of different colors. And we'll get a close-up of that. You can see all the colors right here. Just tons of different colors. We primarily use brown and green, but the black, the dark, the purple fleck, we've caught a lot of fish on those. In the past, I've caught a lot on the salt and pepper, especially if they are foraging on minnows. That's more of a minnow imitation. But for the crayfish, you can't go wrong with brown or green or variations of that color. There's tournament series Gets It that are good too. They got the black ones, and they work really well. It's just something about a tube jig that, well, for one, it's so realistic and it's soft. The smallmouths bite into it, they hang on, and it's really good for kids. I've said this many times on the shows in the past, is that for a kid, if you're looking to graduate from bait into some kind of lure, it's a good transition because the bass give you time. And they're practicing their hook sets at that age, and they can catch tons of fish on them. They won't let go. They can practice their hook sets. I know Noah and Sammy have caught some of their bigger smallmouth bass on tube jigs. Just a wonderful lure, our favorite for sure. I'll show you a little bit about how to rig them. Not that it's real difficult, but some people don't know. So what we do is we got the tube jig heads. Now Gets It makes the ones like this that kind of cone shaped, I guess, but they're flat on both sides, and when they go drop down, you pull them up off the bottom and they drop down and they spiral. Other tube jigs, jig heads are good too, but they kind of come up and they go down, go up and go down. This spirals, and I think that's one of the keys. I always order from Gets It their tube jig heads. And we just take, like, this is the brown one. This is one of our favorites. Is the brown clown, we call it. Is the brown craw. And so you just take it and you just spread out the tentacles like this. And then you just take the jig head. This is a 1/4 ounce. 1/4, 3/8. Just depends on the conditions, what size you want to use. And you just slide it in there. You can use a little bit of saliva to lube it up, but this one I got right in there. And you go all the way to the head of it, and you just poke the eye of the jig head out so you can tie your line on. And you tie it on there, and it just, when it scoots off the bottom, if you've ever seen a crayfish, if you've ever like hit right in front of it, it scoots up and it closes its claws together, and this what this looks like, and it shoots up off the bottom. Deadly, deadly lure for smallmouth bass. For all fish, really. There's not a fish I don't think that I haven't caught on this. But for smallmouth bass, it is the top, no doubt. So, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.